Hi everyone, thanks for joining me for today's webinar about the brand new online workshop booking feature called Book My Bike In. It's currently in beta testing, so a handful of bike shops are using it to help us iron out the final bits. We're as thorough as we can be for internal testing, but for a brand new feature like this, there are always unique situations in real life that we just don't come across in our testing environment, which is why it's important to run a trial as part of the testing and development process. We're looking to launch this autumn, and I'll be able to confirm the date next month, so keep an eye on your emails. The setup is all in CloudPOS back office, so it's really easy to make any changes. We know how busy workshops are, and we don't want to create any extra work. This is all about saving time and cutting out admin. So we've started working with bike shops using the workshop module to complete the setup over the coming weeks. If you do want to do your own setup, of course you can, and we'll look at how to do that in more detail later on. So it's great when a customer calls up or pops into your shop because they want to book a service, but it means someone has to down tools, stop what they're doing, and go and take the customer details to create the workshop job and arrange with the customer when they're going to drop their bike into the shop. There's a bit of admin there, and all those interruptions through the day add up over time. What But My Biking does is that it cuts out that interruption and it does the admin for you, but still gives you the flexibility and control that you need. So we've got hundreds of bike shops using the workshop module, and everyone is different from the rest. That's why Book My Biking is a simple solution that cuts out the admin, but it makes sure that you're in control of what work needs doing, how long it will take, and when that work will be done. All But My Biking does is it creates a workshop job for you, so you don't have to spend time manually doing it, and it gives you information about the customer and what they think needs doing on the bike, as well as when they'll come to drop their bike off. When they do drop the bike off, you've still got the opportunity to have that conversation with them, set an expectation of when the bike will be ready and how much it will be. But the admin side of it is all done for you. It's also much easier for your customers because they don't have to call or pop in when the shop is open. They can go online at any time and book the next service. For me, it's when I'm out riding my bike on a weekend and I'm thinking, oh, I really need to get this serviced. But I've got to wait until Monday and try and remember to go on my lunch to see when I can get booked in. Whereas with Book My Bike In, I can just do it on my phone while I'm still out. Or if a customer's on holiday and needs to get the bike looked at when they're back home, they can just hop online and book it while they're thinking about it, rather than having to wait until they're back and can visit the shop. So let's take a look at how it works. If you've got e-commerce with your CloudPOS, there'll be a page on your website with something that looks a bit like this on it. That your customers can click on to start their booking. So each bike shop will have their own custom URL that will only show your workshops when a customer uses that link. It doesn't matter if they click back or they try and start again, it won't show any other workshops if they've used your specific URL. It just doesn't work like that. You can put this in your navigation, in a banner on your homepage, link to it from your existing workshop page and blog articles, anywhere that makes it easy for your customers to find. Of course, a brand new customer who hasn't been before but can go straight to bookmybiking.com, they'll be able to see all the workshops in their local area, but if they've used your custom URL, they will only see your shop. So when a customer clicks through on that, they'll go to Book My Biking to start their booking, and they put in their location by postcode or town. This is currently available in the UK and Ireland. And then they get through to see which workshops are available for them. So again, only your shop or your locations will show if they've used your custom URL. Or if they're brand new and they've gone straight to bookmybiking.com, they'll select all their local shops. They can filter that by how many miles away the shop is. Just here, so we can see shops within 10 miles or 25 miles or even 100 if they're willing to travel quite a bit there, but it helps them to find their local bike shop. And you can also change the order, so you can filter them by store name, by distance, or by the next available date. So if everyone else is booked up but you've got availability, you'd be top of that list, sorted by available date. The next available date is configured in the workshop module, so you can easily update it depending on how many jobs come in through the day, and we'll look at that in a bit more detail later on. So customer, you've got the workshop name, your next available date, how far away from the customer you are, and then they can click through to see more details about your workshop, and that brings up this pop-up box. So all this information is in CloudPOS. So you've got your workshop description here. This is your extended description. So we've got from puncture fixtures to custom builds, mountain bikes or e-bikes, our SciTech trained mechanics are here for you. Our professionally equipped bicycle workshop is on hand to keep your bike happy. So anything that you want your customer to know generally about your workshop, things that you specialise in, or any bits of advice for them, that can go there in that workshop description. Over here, you've got the number of mechanics that you've got available, just to give the customer an idea of the size of your workshop. And then you've got some good to know features. So we've got, service prices don't include the cost of extra parts. That's showing us a little cross there. And then we've got 3 ticks here. We've got Fox accredited service centre, Bosch e-bike trained, everything from firmware updates to battery testing and everything like that. And then we've got the basic store information here as well. You've got the address, contact details, and the store opening times. So that's all the stuff about your workshop. All comes straight from CloudPOS in the setup section, so it's really easy to add and amend that as you'd like to. When they've selected your workshop and they hit through to the next step, the customer gets to choose from the services that you've got active online. So these come from the Manage Online Workshop Service page in Setup in back office. You can call these services whatever you'd like, from a free initial assessment where you wait until you've got the bike in shop to see what state it's in and what needs doing, to a full range of services at different levels so the customers know everything that you can do for them. If you would like, you can even add in the average turnaround time for each service to give an idea of how long it might take into the title here. So you could say basic service, average 1 to 2 day turnaround time, or whatever that might be for you. So you've got the title here, which you can name, whatever you see fit, and you've got the cost, whatever that might be for yours, and obviously you've got the option to have a free one, and then you've got the option to click more and see some more details about that service. So again, this is all in back office. You can put through any information in here that you think would be useful for the customers to know, that you want them to know. So this is our description of the basic service, and we've got a note that's added in here saying that we'll get in touch to let you know when your bike is fixed and ready to pick up. And also a little note saying, depending on parts and availability, this may take more than 24 hours, and a bit of a description about what's included in a basic service. On the right hand side here, we've got the price again, and then we've got this list of features that gives a lot more detail about what's actually included in the service. You've got your full bolt and wear check, wheels inspected and intrude, gears inspected and adjusted, brakes, tyres, seat post, all the way through. And again, just a little note saying any replacement parts required aren't included in the price there. So the customer selects their service, and then they go through to choose when they're going to drop their bike off at the shop. The customer doesn't schedule the job or choose how long it takes. All they're doing here is letting you know when they'll drop the bike off in store. So you've got full control over what needs doing, how long it will take, and when that work's going to be done. But you already know when the bike's going to be dropped off, and you've got the customer details and what they think needs doing already in the workshop job for you. So you can see the available days here in the calendar. So they are set by the store opening times and the 2 new settings at the top of the workshop calendar, how many days notice you want and how many online bookings you'll accept per day. They're right at the top of the workshop calendar, so it's really easy to amend them depending on how busy you are. We'll look at those in more detail just in a little bit. So the customer chooses when they're going to be dropping their bike off, whether it's going to be in the morning or afternoon. Again, they've just got the store details here as a reminder, so they know where they're going to drop it off and when your shop is open. And when they complete their booking, we just get some basic information from the customer. So we've got their contact details and some more information on their bike. So we ask for the make and model and anything else that might help. So here you can see we've got Live Intrigue and the brakes don't work as well as they used to. And you've got the reminder there, which they've got booked in for the basic service, £50, and when they're going to be dropping the bike off. So they complete their order, they'll get a confirmation email straight to their email address, and you'll get one too. And then we'll just take a look at the workshop calendar. And here you can see that unscheduled jobs come right in here. You might need to hit the refresh button as you normally would do when you've created a workshop job. And the unscheduled job's just right there, so you can put that in wherever you want that work to go. So we'll just take a quick look at the two settings that make your next available date here at the top of the calendar. So we've got the lead time in days, so that's how much notice you want for each workshop booking. So if you're fully booked up for the next week, you might change that lead time to be 7 as you get booked up. And when you start to kind of churn through those and you've got a bit more availability, you can drop that back down. So we've got that set to 2, so we'll get 2 days notice. And then you've got the number of bookings that you'll accept per day, number of online bookings. So we've got that set to 100 so that we don't miss out on anything. But you can change that just through the day. It's right at the top of the calendar, so it's really easy to see and easy to change. You can see that next available date when your next booking would be able to come in. Okay, so here's our unscheduled job. We'll just take a look at that in a bit more detail. So if we open that up, you can see all the information that the customer has put in. We know when the bike's going to be dropped off in the shop. We've got that just here. We know the service that the customer has chosen and their contact details and the info and all the extra info that they've provided as well about the bike and any notes that they've added. So when the customer comes into the shop to drop their bike off, you've still got the opportunity, just like you do now, to cast an eye over the bike and have a conversation with the customer about what needs doing and how long it might take. But the admin side of creating the job and agreeing when they can bring their bike in has all been done online. So it's really easy and convenient for the customer, and it saves on time, on admin time, and reduces those interruptions in the shop. So instead of having to stop what you're doing to create the workshop job manually while you're on the phone call and then chat with the customer again when they bring the bike in, you've got all the customer info and job details already there for you in a workshop job already created, and you know when the bike's going to be dropped off. So now let's take a look at the setup. So the first bit is your workshop description, features and number of mechanics. So that's all your general workshop information. That's in back office, setup, stores. If you select your store to edit that store and go to the workshop information tab at the top here. You can scroll down and have a look here. We've got the mechanic count, so you can put in your number of mechanics. Your extended description, that's your workshop description. And then you've got your workshop features here, and whether this is ticked, it determines whether it's going to be a tick or a cross. So this one would show as a tick and this one would be a cross. And that's what fills through to this page. So this is when the customer hits on your workshop to see a little bit more information about your workshop. That's all the information that they get here. They've got the description, number of mechanics, and then the different features with ticks and crosses. So then you've got your online services. So this is again in back office and setup, and there's a new section called Manage Online Workshop Services. So you can see you've got your service title, the price, whether it's active or not, and then you've got the service description here. And then over on the right hand side here, these are all the features, the service features that are set for this, the service that's highlighted here, the basic service. And then just at the bottom here, you can see the different stores. So say you might only offer suspension servicing at one of your locations, you can make sure that that's only ticked for that specific location, and so that then it won't show on the other locations. And this is what the customer sees. So when they've selected a service and they've wanted to see a little bit more detail, they've got this is the title, the description, the charge, the price there, and then your extra features. So it's much more convenient for your customers to be able to book a service when they're thinking about it, rather than having to wait until your shop is open. It also will help you to connect with new local customers who are looking for a workshop nearby. But more than that, it cuts out the first bit of admin when you're arranging with a customer when they're going to bring the bike in, taking their contact details, and finding out what they want. That's all done for you, but you've still got the opportunity to chat to them face to face when they bring the bike in and set the expectation with them about what needs doing and when it might be ready for them. So Book My Bike In is a free new feature for bike shops using CloudPOS and the workshop module. There is no extra charge for this. We are looking to launch this autumn. I'll be able to confirm the date next month, so keep an eye on your emails. If you're not getting the emails or want to add somebody new, please just let us know by emailing success@citruslime.com. And if you've got the time and the resource to do your own setup and you'd like to do that, there are step-by-step how-to articles on how-to.citruslime.com, and the support team, as always, are available to help. So that's everything for today. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you in the next one.